Okay, so we are on page 65, talking about if a single knot was tied before Shabbat, is it permissible to add another knot to it on Shabbat? What we learned, Yaakov, what we said?
No, not allowed.
Why?
Because it considers to be a double knot for long term.
Very good. Where we got that from? This concept from?
Yeah, we got this concept from the Bet HaMikdash, the fence of Bet HaMikdash.
Mishkan.
Mishkan.
Very good. And
Building
what?
a Mishkan. We were building the fence.
We needed to
We
write
needed to write
two letters.
the letters, right? We needed to write the letters,
Sorry.
and how many letters needed to be written? At least 2 over there.
Yeah, and
This was the simanim for whether it's north or south.
very good. So what if a person, Gemara says, wrote one letter before Shabbat, and the second letter he writes on Shabbat?
Also consider you were right.
Oh.
And it's the
Bachrano
right.
family is here, Rabotai.
And it's I have the right.
Maybe you're gonna have your own minyan soon, I see.
Yeah, I need a couple more.
Couple more, yeah.
בלי עין הרע, בלי עין הרע.
Hallelujah, I know.
זיות שווים כמה שווים. Soon Levi is gonna have his own minyan also. You know, my father in Miami, he tells to all of his community, you must have at least 6 kids, at least. To all the young guys. It says what? It says in the pasuk, ובני ישראל פרו, וירבו, וישרצו, ויעצמו, במאוד מאוד, ותמלא הארץ אותם. Gemara says, where do you know that every wife used to give birth 6 kids in one shot? Where do we know it from? From this pasuk. ובני ישראל פרו, וישרצו, ויעצמו, וירבו, במאוד מאוד. תמלא הארץ אותם. No, so he tells them here, see, when you're in Galut, you gotta make 6 kids in one.
Nice connection. Nice connection.
They all listen to him. And the tuition there is crazy expensive. Crazy expensive. Miami Beach, everything is expensive. The houses, the tuition, everything is.
Not like here though. I think here is more expensive.
No, I'm telling you. No. Very expensive. And Baruch Hashem, they listen. God bless them. This community is special. They listen to the rabbi. Strong. Back to Asif. So, says Rav Ovadia, is it forbidden to tighten a tzitzit knot? It's if it was tied before Shabbat. So we said, Yaakov, if a person wrote one letter before Shabbat, he's not allowed to write from Torah the second letter on Shabbat. So says Rav Ovadia, similarly is here. If a person made Arijon, come. Садись здесь. Садись, она там далеко будет. А, да? А так садится. Arijon, if a person wrote one letter before Shabbat, now he needs to write the second letter on Shabbat. Did he break Shabbat D'oraita or no? He only wrote on Shabbat one letter.
Used to be.
Oh, very good. So, Повторение, отвлечение. Maybe just for Ari's lectures on Shabbat, you have to come here on Shabbat. His beautiful lectures. You never believe that this person speaking is so beautiful.
Shabbat you speak?
Yeah, serious. Sudash Lishit, yeah.
Bari? It's not.
Very powerful.
Maltze. שהכל נגד רבנו.
ברשות מוריי ורבותיי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו. So now, Arijon, open the page please, page 66 of Rabbi Ovadia Yosef pages. If I have one knot in the tzitzit and the second one open, Davey, can I tie the second knot on Shabbat? Why not? I only made one knot right now on Shabbat. Very good.
That should be too.
Not the Rabbanan. Ah, you're right, it's the Rabbanan because it's not professional. You're right. And also long term. Okay, page 66.
Those fans were built for Mishkan temporarily by the Mikdash.
Yeah.
Fans. The 40
Yeah,
years,
it's not fence, the walls.
The wall. The walls.
If you're in a shoe, you're using the shoes to teeth and you want to tighten it. You just want it for you, just for that day. You don't care about having it last longer than this still count.
Does it still count? You're saying what? For me, I only care about now.
Yeah.
But it's going to last more than that.
Problem.
But you are fixing it.
Ah.
You are fixing it. It's not like you're throwing it to the garbage. The case we learned from the goat, remember? That the Kohen used to throw the goat from the cliff and they used to have a red ribbon tied. So he said, you see something you throw to the garbage, it's not in your favor. It's melacha shelo tzricha legufa. Remember? Spoke about this. So David is asking, if so, what about the talit? It's a good question. Person comes kaneso, he says one of the strings is untied in double knot, he made only as one knot. Rami, he wants to on Shabbat put a second knot. Allowed or no?
No.
No, not
Huh?
For what? For what?
The second knot he wants to tie on the tzitzit. Rosh Shabbat. It's not his talit. It's the synagogue's talit. He only tied it for now, hour, 2 hours in the kanesot, then he doesn't care about this.
Yes, you're allowed because it's not professional. And, yeah.
It's not professional, it makes it Rabbanan. Why is it allowed?
Because you're
So-
taking care of the Kibbutz Knesset.
But that's a problem. You're taking care of the Knesset. You're fixing. I would say, so David says maybe it's comparable to the goat that you throw. So I say not comparable, I think.
That's it.
Lazazel. I think it's not comparable. Why? Because by the goat, you're throwing it. That's it. It's garbage. However, over here, it's not garbage. Over here, you're keeping it in the kanesot. In Mincha time, you're going to come. You're going to wear talit. Next week, you're going to come. You're going to wear talit. Maybe that talit is going to come to your hands again. Other people, your cousin, your friend is going to use this talit. It's usable. It's not that you throw to the garbage. If he would tie it one time and throw it to the garbage afterwards, then it's comparable to the goat. According to Arizal Meir, during Mincha, talit has to be worn, he says, of Shabbat. Mincha of Shabbat. A lot of guys over here wearing. Baruch Hashem.
And if nobody wear, I have to wear.
Huh? You can wear behind the women's section, like the
There is
tefillin.
no women's section.
So go to shul, there is.
I pray upstairs.
It's a problem if nobody wears you.
It's debatable. But if it's not, if it's like a person knows, if they learn to follow the highest levels of Kabbalah, then there's no problem. It's not agudot, because people know that this, it's not a law, it's extra. Nobody said that's a law. If you tell people that's a law, you must do it. Other people don't do it. So people say, what's going on here? Half the shul does this way, not half the shul does this way. What's going on here? That's called agudot, because people think that that's the law. But if you tell them that's not the law, it's only extra, hasidut, then there is no problem. It's like one person wears one Rashi, and the other people wear Rashi Rabbeinu Tam together. What is this? Half the shul like this, half the shul like that. What is this? So if you tell halacha is Rashi, extra is Rabbeinu Tam, then you have no problem of going against the law. Torah doesn't want us to make the Torah look like it's two Torahs. It's asur. But that's only whenever you say that's the law. But whenever you say, it's not a law. Person, when do you know that it's not a law? If a person doesn't do your thing, let's say you wear two Rashi Rabbeinu Tam together, you say, oh, what is this? You're not fulfilling the mitzvah. You don't wear Rashi Rabbeinu Tam together. Pasul. There's a pasul, the guy thinks, what is this? So how can half of the shul I don't have that? You make him believe that that's halakha. That's a problem. You understand, Amir John? You got it? Very good. Number 66.
Which
Bechavod, Ari John, read.
Here,
Yeah, number 1. 2 nuts.
2 knots tied during the weekdays without specific thought as to when they will be untied. Are they considered permanent knots? 2 knots tied during the weekday without specific thoughts as to when they will be untied are not considered permanent knots.
בוא, יזראלו. איפה הוא? אחר
So
כך.
it's not.
להיות שונה. כל הכבוד. Shalom, what happens if a person has right now, at night, look at Baba, look at the cave. Mashiach is coming, Rabotai, that's it. Yitzchak is with us. Yitzchak front seat, пожалуйста. What if a person, Yitzchak, has double nuts that he doesn't have a specific time where he's gonna untie it? Kohen Baruch. Shalom. What if a person has a nut, he's not allowed on Shabbat to tie, asu,
Not a professional nut.
right? Professional or long term. What if a person didn't make a professional nut? He made a double nut, but he didn't specify for how long. Example, Babule has guests on Shabbat or other days. After the guests left, she took all the expensive candies that nobody is allowed to eat them besides the guests, and she double knotted, and she put it behind Bovo's picture Lilu Nishmat over there, that nobody should know where is it located. Now Meir comes a week and a half from then, from the last visit of the guests. It's already a week and a half tied double knot. And she's telling you, Bachim bior, bior. Okay, Babule, here, bring it to me, I brought it. Okay. Now open it. Can you open it? It's already 10 days tied.
Yes. Well, it depends. Up to a week you could, but depends what
10 days.
I know, probably intention.
Yeah, but you never specify.
Oh, very good. So says Rav Ovadia, double knots that were tied to during the weekdays, without specific thought as when they will be untied.
Right?
Are they considered permanent knot?
No, they're not.
Says Rav Ovadia, read.
You could ask the same thing about shoes.
It read, it's not.
Very good. It's not considered to be permanent knot.
Not considered permanent knot, exactly.
Got it? Continue. Next, number 2. Give him a pamphlet, please. There is
If they remain tied for a long time, is it permissible to untie them
Yeah.
on Shabbat?
You know how many years we used to learn with Yitzchak ago? Why? Many years ago.
Sound like a 70-year-old.
Oh, man. Yeah. We used to learn many years ago together.
20 years ago.
Many years ago.
13.
Number 2.
If they remain
If they remained.
tied for a long time, is it permissible to untie them on Shabbat? It is permissible to untie them on Shabbat, since at the time of tying it was not certain that they would be left tied for a long time, even if the chances of untying them are less.
Got it? Very good. So whatever we just said, that you're allowed to untie them, Yitzchak, on Shabbat. Why? It's tied already for 2 weeks.
Intention was
Because at the time Babule tied it, she didn't intend specific time.
If you did.
What if she did? That's a good question.
probably.
Huh? She giving you example. Clean all the candies. My brother is coming from Israel. There's going to be Yeshua of my Bobo in a month from now.
On Shabbat she already made that stipulation.
Yeah? And that's have to be on Shabbat. It could be a regular day. On Thursday there was some gathering of her relatives in the house. She put it on the table. Then she's asking you, please tie it and put it over there so the kids will not
Not on
reach
Shabbat,
it.
though.
Doesn't matter. And she's telling you, tie it, because in a month from now we're going to open it again, serving my brother gathering.
But they did tie it on Shabbat.
It doesn't matter. That's the chidush here. So here, welcome to Judaism. That it doesn't matter when you did it. It matters what's the
learned
intention for how long you did it.
But that only with 100% sure.
Yeah.
So there's a chance.
Yeah, she's telling you. In a month from now, my brother is going to come. You gather together or some gathering on Sunday. In a month from now, my brother is going to come. We're going to serve that. When the brother came, certain time of the week he came, Shabbat he came to Babula. Now Babula wants to give kavod. He says, Slatki stol, bring the candies. She says, Yitzchak, you told beautiful, Baruch Hashem, reach the candies, please put it on the table, open the bag.
During the week.
You can't tie, you can't untie.
The anta is also the.
It's one of the 39 laws of Shabbat. Yes. Bring Masechet Shabbat, 73. Bring.
Yeah, but it's
No,
only
bring
if
it,
it was
bring
done
it.
on Shabbat.
You ask,
Really.
you have to sit inside the answer. Huh?
I thought it was only if it's done on Shabbat, even with the intention. But this was during the week, you're saying.
You're so lucky, Yitzchak. After so many years, you came back to
No,
us
we learned
to learn the right answer.
I was done with you.
Learned this. I even have notes on this video.
Two separate things. Tie is not allowed and to untie.
Right. Tying not allowed and untying not allowed. Doesn't matter when you tied it.
Untied is the rice or the
Yeah, the right also. It's one of the 39 laws. Right now, it's going to bring it to you. Masechet Shabbat, Nitam Smotrich. Regular Gemara, what brown on the bottom. Same shelf on the bottom. Same shelf. You just were there. Right. Turn right. Down. How do you show it down?
What do they do for the Mishkan tying it on? What do they untie?
So, what would they tie and not tie the row members?
Two things.
Tell him.
The curtains.
Curtains.
Right.
And the net for the...
But they would untie it on Shabbat also?
They don't have to be untied for Shabbat. Nothing in Mishkan they did on Shabbat. We learned what they did for Mishkan. Not allowed to do on Shabbat. Open page Ayin Gimel. Amud Aleph.
You said they did curtain and what?
And nets to catch the...
Ayin Gimel.
But
to
that
do the
that's
tzit.
the halacha that they derive from the Mishkan, the 39 halachot. Who came up with that?
That's Gemara.
It came from Gemara.
100%.
It wasn't from Moshe Sinai.
No. Gemara says it. Gemara says, Ayin Gimel Amud Aleph. Gemara says, it says in Torah, Ele adevarim asher tziva Moshe. So, Ele adevarim. Ele, 36. Aleph Lamed Hey. Davar Adin. Devarim 2. Hadevarim 3. 36 and 3 turn to be 39. Gemara says it's not me. It's not Gematria of some Hasidic rabbi. It's Gemara, Gematria of the Gemara. I'm Gimel Amud Aleph. John Abadan? Here. Read.
Come close.
הכושר והמתיר. 4 אבות, 4 מלאכות, 40, חסר 1. חד מלאכות, 40 minus 1. 40 minus 1, which is 39.
Minus one. Or that's just using the formula.
Formula. Easy way to remember. That's according to the Pshat. On Shabbat,
Why couldn't I just
we'll reveal to you why is that minus 1. Why we need חסר 1. Say 39. אחת הזורע והחורש, a whole list over here. הכושר והמתיר. What is kosher? Tying. What is matir? Anti. מתיר אסורים. In the morning you say מתיר אסורים. ברוך אתה השם אלוקינו מלך העולם. מתיר אסורים. בנימין, יעקב, what is מתיר אסורים? Levi, what is מתיר אסורים?
Releasing
These prisoners.
No. Untying the bound. We were sleeping like this. Couldn't move. You were tied in your sleep. In the morning, what do you say? Hashem, thank you. There was one time a guy sitting down learning Kabbalah. So the rabbi tells him, he says, listen, you learn Kabbalah, kol hakavod. Do you know how to learn Gemara, learn basic stuff, you know? So, yes. So I ask you a simple thing. In the morning you say Birkot HaShachar, of course. You have kavanot like this, you have to pull it from Abba, from Ima, from this, from that. What is kavanah do you have when you say Matir Asurim? He says this means that God makes sometimes whatever is Asur, He makes it Mutar. He says that you're learning Kabbalah. Aleph Bet Birkot HaShachar, you don't know. We were so laughing so bad, unbelievable. Matir Asurim makes them mutar.
It's the same word. Asur is the same thing.
That's why, Rabotai, a person have to learn meaning of the tefillah, come to learn Mishnah, Gemara, Halakha, Patom. But Baruch Hashem, throughout the week we learn Gemara here, we learn Halakha here. That's on Shabbat. I allow you to learn Zohar over here, Kabbalah, Rizal, all these things with us together. That's why we do that, this format. Every time you say, Rabbi, tell us during the week, Rabbi, tell us during the week. Then we're not going to learn Halachot and Gemara during the week. Then you're not allowed to learn the Kabbalah during Shabbat. Yeah.
You're asked to untie the bag, but you don't know that she made the statement for the month.
Yeah.
To go strip.
You have to ask her.
Nevertheless, allowed.
You have to ask her. It's asur.
What if she says, I don't know?
What if this chicken was cooked with milk? And I don't know that. If I eat it, I made avera. Avera b'shogeg, but I made avera. You have to find out.
But what if she says,
You're ordering food. You have to ask, Bishul Israel or Bishul Ishmael? Ask.
but what if she says, I don't know?
You have to ask if it's Halav Israel or Halav Ishmael. You have to ask or no?
Yeah, but,
Yeah. If she said no, what can you do? You will set up.
I said, I don't know.
If she doesn't know,
Right.
or she said, or she lied to you.
No, she said, I don't know. If you ask her, did you make it? I don't know. I just tied it, left it.
No, that's why I didn't bring the example of she don't know. What example I said? She asked you a month ago, tie it because in a month my brother's gonna come from Israel. It's gonna be Yeshua Bobom,
Right, so she gave the time.
and he's gonna come. Then we're gonna make the gathering. We're gonna untie it. You're gonna open it. Then I don't want the kids to eat it throughout the whole month. These candies came from Gan Eden, unfoundable. Последний спад, полыпный спад.
Right. Hide behind the picture, behind Bobo picture.
Yeah, you like Babuli questions, right? Yeah.
Someone had the tabernacle double tied for more than a week. Then they realized they can't do it. They untied her in the week. Still they did it. Fair or no?
Oh, so we learned that there are certain things you're able to rectify, make tikkunim for. What you could do. That's the debatable. Do we go after the moment you tied it? Or do we go the reality happened at the end, you untied it within a week? Machloke. Says Rav Yosef after Shabbat, untie it. At least according to some opinions, you'll fix your avera. Some say you go after the mind. Melechet machshevet asra. Your machshava was to leave it for more than a week. You made already avera. So I'm going to untie it later, it's not going to help it. Rav Yosef says, some say otherwise. So therefore, at least according to some, you should make tikkun for your mistake. After Shabbat, untie it. Okay, number 3. Bechavod, Yitzchak, read. We have questions, answers. Read the question out
Is
loud.
it permissible to tie a knot and a bow on Shabbat if they will be left for more than 7 days? It is good to be stringent like the Ben Ish Chai to not tie a knot and bow if they will be left for more than 7 days. But according to the law, it is permissible, as Moran wrote, a bow is allowed, and the Ramah explained even with a knot underneath.
Yeah, you got it? Yeah? So the way we tie shoes. How people usually tie shoes, Yitzchak?
Double knots.
They make a
Double
knot
knot, one
and then a
knot,
bow knot on
double.
top.
Right, like that.
Usually. Most people tie shoes like this, right? So they can easily pull it and it gets open.
Well, Ben Ish Chai says.
Now comes Maran and says, Kesher aniva, it's kosher. Aniva, bow,
What's on you?
bow knot. Bantik in Russian, yeah?
It's not
bow
unprof-
tie,
it's
thank
not
you, mate.
unprofessional.
Maran said bow knot, bow tie, mutar on Shabbat. Now Maran did not specify bow tie it's allowed by itself or even with the knot underneath that. So Ben Ish Chai says Maran only allowed without the knot underneath that.
How could you do bone out?
Oh, you could, but it's very, very loose. You could. Comes Rav Yosef and says, most likely, since Maran did not specify the limitations of what bow tie allowed, it means any bow tie, even if you're going to make it with a other knot on the bottom, because it's not a double knot. Double knot, you got to play with both hands in order to untie it, so it's a strong knot. But bow knot, you pull one string, everything cut open. So therefore, it's not a strong knot. It's like single knot. And what we learn about single knot? It's not a knot. Remember?
Single knot
Single knot
is not a knot.
is not a knot.
So therefore you could put a bow knot on top of the knot, underneath the knot,
Exactly.
a bow.
But Rav Yosef says, try to be strict,
Not
like the Ben Ish Chai. Ben Ish Chai says, if you have a bow knot, bow tie, and a tie on the bottom, try to be strict if you're going to keep it more than a week. Not to do that. Yeah. Tie on the bottom, and then a bow tie on top. If you keep it more than a week, says Rav Yosef, try to be strict like Ben Ish Chai, but it's not halacha. If Babulia tells you, tie this, make sure put it away for 1 month until Bobo is going to come from Israel.
I don't know
How should you do that?
Even on Shabbat, not on Shabbat, it wasn't.
Tie
knot.
it one knot,
Bow it,
and bow on top.
go home,
Like this, on next Shabbat, after 3 months, 3 weeks, the Bobo is going to
take
come.
your heart open.
She's going to say, open, put it on the slatki stove. Tu nas visoki Baruch Hashem, бежим, сделай это.
Both tie you can pull with one, right?
נכון?
So why is it?
So that's the question. Because you can pull it with once, it makes it like a one knot. Or because you have 2 knots, you have a knot on the bottom and another bow knot on top, it's like 2 knots. How do we look at it?
It's not a knot.
Do we look at the fact that you can pull it, or do we look at the reality? I have 2 knots over here. How do we deal with this? So Ben Ish Chai says we look at like 2 knots. According to Ben Ish Chai, Mechalel Shabbat.
A double knot is two knots. This is not. This is
Why you say that? Because of the pulling concept. If you look at the reality, how many ties do we have right now? You have a bow tie and a tie on the bottom. You have two ties here. The way to open it, it's easier because of one pull. I agree. But if you look at double knot, it's a double knot? It's double knot. But if you look at it, it's simple to open. If that's the indicator, so then you're right. Then it's only like a single knot. Because of this debate, says Ravad Yosef, try to be mahmir if it's more than a week. If you're planning it more than a week, better to be mahmir. But is it halacha? No. Halacha, it's allowed. Got it? Very good. Number 4. How about Yitzhak?
A rope of a bucket that was cut, should it not be knotted but only tied in a bow?
Yeah?
As written in Shabbat, a rope of a bucket that was cut should not be knotted but only tied in a bow.
Gemara says, if you go to the well, Meir on Shabbat, people that they are cannot reach the bucket and go down to the river, to the well. How should he go ahead and take the water out of the well? With a bucket and the rope. He comes to the well, lo aleinu, lo alechem, the rope is cut.
You can't do it.
What should he do now? Hari, what should he do? If he's going to make one knot, it's going to fall. The bucket's not going to hold. The bucket himself is heavy. It's a real wood. And it's saturated with water. Now you're going to put more water in order to pull it out. You know how heavy it is? If you're going to make one knot, it's not going to hold anything. So you're going to make a double knot to make it a strong one. That's the Gemara, double knot asur b'Shabbat. Okay.
Intention to untie it.
So what do you have to do? This is answering you that even intention to untie is not going to help you. Because the usual way is to make it more than a week. And this answers you also. You asked about tzitzit. I'll make the double knot on the kanesos tzitzit. I don't need it for a long time. I just need it for 1 or 2 hours until the prayer will finish. What's the answer? What's the usual way to keep it for a long time? So that's the Gemara in Masechet Shabbat, page 113 says that you're supposed to tie the bucket with a rope to the bucket with a tie and a bow tie on top. Why not double ties? Double knots?
Long term.
Because it's considered to be long-term, professional. But Rabbi, after Shabbat I'm going to come and tie it. Why the Gemara told me tie it with a bow tie? Give me an easier solution. Tie it regularly, just after Shabbat, come and untie it. So you see that your intentions of after Shabbat, Mr. Babayev, you see that it's not going to help you here. Because we go after what's the usual way of tying things. Got it? Very good. Number
So
5.
how do I do this in this case? And get the water, so I cannot take the water out? How do I?
No, you could. One tie and a bow tie on top.
It won't hold.
No, it will. Both, it's already like double knot. It will hold.
In this case, it will.
It will hold. It's just easy to open,
Right.
but then the strength of it is strong. On Shabbat, I explained to them why it's so important to learn Zohar and Kabbalah on Shabbat. Atzilut, Bria, Yetzira, Asiya. Arizal says thousands, hundreds, tens, singles. In Atzilut, you have 12 partsufim. In Atzilut. So everyone you're climbing up, the Malchut of Atzilut was thousands. Yesod of Atzilut will be tens of thousands. Netzach of Atzilut will be hundreds of thousands. Tiferet of Atzilut will be millions of hours. Gevurah will be tens of millions. Chesed will be 100 millions. And then he explains the partsuf on top, Abba and Ima. He breaks it down that whenever you reach Keter, you get to 170 million hours. 1 hour of learning Torah on Shabbat. Now, if you're learning the Arizal or a Zohar on Shabbat, it's 1,000 on top of that. Now, Yitzchak, make a cheshbon. How many years a person lives?
70, 80, 90.
Hopefully 120. Let's be generous. Make cheshbon. Open your calculator. 24 hours a day, times 365 years. Shtai. On Mazgich Shtai, Mazgach. It used to be in Russia. 24 times 365 times 120 years. How many hours it is a lifetime?
1,051,200.
1 million and change, right? Here for 1 hour learning on Torah on Shabbat, you already on 170 million. 170 times you're going to live life, and all life just learn Torah. You're not going to reach 1 hour of Shabbat. And if you're on top of it learning Kabbalah on Shabbat, 1,000 times more than that.
Learning or reading?
Learning.
Even though if you read,
So if you're saying the Zohar,
Still counts.
Learning counts much, much higher. There is a one commentary, Rabbi Buzaglo, commentary on the Zohar. He wrote a commentary called Mikdash Melech. He writes that if a person learns Kabbalah, 1 hour of learning Kabbalah cleans the neshama is 1 year learning Pshat, Mishnayot, Gemarot, Halachot. 1 year. Chida brings him. Chida, the famous Chida. Rabbi Chaim Yosef David Azulai. That's why Shabbat, Yitzhak, you have to learn Kitvei Arizal, Zohar
You
HaKadosh,
don't understand this.
not miss anything of it. No, over here we explain.
Over here. Not everybody did see.
Welcome to here.
Over Gemara, Rabbi?
Yeah. Shabbat, very important to learn secrets of the Torah.
So she learned.
If you learn throughout the week, you learn halachot, you learn gemarot, you learn the pshatim, here comes to the Shabbat, you get into a higher level. But you have to have a proper rabbi to guide you. Because some people think Kabbalah is Keneget Kulam and they go Kabbalah centers or people like Kabbalah centers. I'm serious, I'm very serious. They end up in the wrong hands. Oh, this rabbi Kabbalist, I move Shabbat Paidu. This rabbi Kabbalist doesn't know how to learn Gemara. What Kabbalist it is? The Bulbalist is. Okay? That's Rabotai, Shalom John. Make yourself classes of Kabbalah on Shabbat. You guys, Baruch Hashem, learn Mishnayot, Gemarot, Halachot throughout the week. Shabbat, Shabbat v'inafash. יצחק, הבנת או לא? Make שיעורים of Kabbalot on Shabbat, Kabbalah. Zohar, Izal, stuff like that. That is going to inspire you and giving you Chizuk. On Shabbat, after Shiur in the morning. Shiur in the morning starts around 9 o'clock.
On Shabbat?
Yeah.
So you stay here after the whole.
Then we'll learn until like 10:30, and then we continue also a little bit privately, like not with the big crowd. Hour and a half,
So
we give
after
them
Nets,
we give
after
them secrets
Kiddush.
on the parasha.
So net
And then-
Kiddush, and then you know.
Yeah. And then after Mincha, before Mincha. Yeah. You're missing out. I'm saying, telling you the
Far.
truth.
How can I come?
You tell Kisidur Tehillim, you read the whole Tehillim walking here. What's the big deal?
How am I gonna go back?
You know, when there was COVID, if you remember, I came over there. When it was COVID. How did I do it? On the Leil Shavuot, you gotta read the whole Tikkun. You take the Siddur, Tikkun, you read the whole thing. Anyway, instead of sitting in the shul reading it, you're walking and getting it. What's the difference?
Can't really walk on here.
And then on the way back, I needed to go back to Forest Hills. That same night. I started reading the Shacharit. Started Alot HaShachar here, finished Netz over there. The whole thing. I came over there, Adonai Sabbatai Tiftach, perfect Netz. Unbelievable. I'm walking in, the guy is already in the Brachot of Shema Israel finishing. God Israel. I said, wow, unbelievable. If you wanted to time it like this, you'd never time it. Chachel B'Ziel Tipal Chil. And he came to me randomly. So like this, same thing. You read Tehillim the whole Shabbat, read the whole Tehillim. How long it takes you to read Tehillim? 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
It's dark, and you're walking. How can you read it and concentrate?
Well, it's very easy. So, back to us. Number 5. If there is a will, there is a way, John. I just told you this one. Number 5. Read, Yitzchak. Yeah.
Is it permissible to tie the bucket with several bows?
So when we say bows, only 2, Ari John? Or as many as you want? Yeah, I got those. Can I do?
he had his bowl.
bow, and then I make another bow knot, and then another bow knot.
It's a knot.
We said that if you have a knot on the bottom, you're allowed to put a bow knot on top, right?
But then you can go way out.
Right. So can I make a third bow, and a fourth one, and a fifth one?
Is it still gonna come out?
That's the question. Do we give you a leniency of one, or we give you unlimited leniencies? Says the Rav Ovadia. Read.
Experience shows that it is impossible to tie without a knot under the bow. Therefore, even several bows are permissible, since it's not long lasting.
No. So even several, says Rav Ovadia Yosef, no problem. Mutar. Number 6.
For the sake of a mitzvah, is it permissible to tie a knot that is not permanent, even when another solution is possible?
So we said, Bechor went with his wife to vacation somewhere in the world. They told you there is Chabad house over there, there's synagogue, there's food kosher, there's mikveh, there's everything. You come over there, Chabad relocated. They left the mikveh over there. Nobody knows the proper size, it's kosher, it's not kosher. Now Bechor, remember, Rabbi Moshe told us 1 amah, by 1 amah, by 3 amot, is kosher mikveh. But he doesn't know if this amah, not amah, he doesn't know. He wants to take,
Who's Amah?
average one, which is 48 centimeters, which is, I don't know, in
1.5 feet.
1.5 feet. I don't know feet. I know centimeters. So this is 48 centimeters. Halakha always talks about centimeters. There's no feet in halakha. Because it's written in Israel, the books.
Half a meter.
Yeah, half a meter. All about half a meter. So 48 centimeters by 48 centimeters by 3 amot, by 3 times 48 centimeters. Says, now Bechor wants to take small strings, double knot, double knot, double knot, double knot to measure. Is this 3 tefachim deep or no? The 3 amot deep or no? Can he double knot on Shabbat? We said double knot is not allowed on Shabbat. It's Mesum Rabbanan. It's not a bow knot, Yitzchak. Here we're talking about double knot.
Allowed.
What will be the halacha? Says Rav Ovadia, read. Yitzchak, read. For the sake
For the
of...
sake of a mitzvah, it is permissible to tie a knot that is not permanent,
No.
even when another solution is possible, as no decree was made in the place of a mitzvah.
So that's not a b'di'avad thing. It's even if you have another solution. You could have measured it with different things.
Right.
I don't want to get my hands wet.
For the sake
Well,
of
listen, put your hand like this in the water. Put the second hand like this. Do 3 times like this. Try to figure out. I don't want to get wet. Can I make the double knot, Rabbi?
Yes.
Says Rav Ovadia, in the place of mitzvah. What are you measuring it for? You don't want to make a double knot to see how tall you are. You want to make a double knot to see how deep the mikveh is. So you can go and make a mitzvah with her. So you're not doing it for pleasures. You're doing it for a mitzvah. Hashem commanded you to satisfy your wife. So you got to know to dip inside that mikveh or no. Or sometimes a person stuck with the plates that he bought and he didn't have time to dip before Shabbat. Now on Shabbat he wants to take it to the mikveh. Is he allowed or no?
Take it to the beach.
No beach.
No beach, mikveh. Yeah.
He went to vacation in Texas.
There's no
Delicious. For the sake of Shabbat, because you can eat.
There's no
there.
mikveh. You give it to the boy as a gift.
There is mikveh, but he doesn't know if the mikveh is kosher. If it's deep enough, not deep enough, he doesn't know how much water there is, what water gets evaporated.
Yes.
Rabbi Chikunam. What should I do, Rabbi John?
Bli bracha.
Can I dip it on Shabbat or no?
Yeah.
What we learned, you're allowed to dip it with bracha on Shabbat. Wait. It's like today's gonna go million chidushim today.
Oh, right. Just don't know the other one. I'm surprised. Tying on, not on Shabbat. Interesting.
Yitzchak. Chai is dipping it, but he doesn't know if the mikveh is kosher.
Mikveh's there, and you would assume that it's kosher.
No, not the structure.
Ah.
The depth of the water. Because the water gets evaporated, nobody's taking care of it.
There's less water than it's supposed
Right.
to. Okay. I get it.
Joy Mujelet.
Get a measuring tape and start measuring.
There is no measuring tape.
So why can you do the bucket of water?
He needs to make one.
So why can you tie the bucket of water then if you can do this? That's also sake of mitzvah.
Which mitzvah?
Taking water out of the well.
What mitzvah it is?
Drink water.
Drink water.
I'm thirsty.
Ochel nefesh. Ochel nefesh only on Yom Tov.
Only in Shabbat.
I walked all the way to get water for my family. There's no water.
You're thirsty.
I'm
Everybody's thirsty.
It's a good question.
I'm not
Rimi.
על נטילת ידיים. Wow, I like it.
Yeah, we said to say mitzvah.
Yeah. So probably we're talking about when it's not for sake of a mitzvah.
Then no.
It's just probably, no, just. You don't need it for sake of mitzvah. You wash dishes. You don't have to wash dishes on Shabbat.
Right.
What do you
Therefore,
mean?
You don't need
If
it.
you don't wash dishes, you can eat the next meal.
No, you have more dishes. It's not a you have to.
If they
Now you guys have a
such
good
case
question.
that they need to
What
go
about
take
netilat
water
yadayim?
out
Levi
of
is
the
asking a
well.
good question.
But that's going to be allowed because for the sake of mitzvah.
For sake of mitzvah. Meir, you hear? Everything for them it's allowed. They always find a way.
Temporarily not, and then you're going to untie it. Rabbeinu.
Interesting where you're learning this halachot from, huh?
From Rav Moshe Moretov.
If they don't have plumbing, that they have to go get water from the well, so they probably don't have so many mikveh dishes either.
I hear. טוב, ברוך השם, רבותיי, we finished today 69. Let's get finished 69. נו, יצחק, make
So you could
69.
make double nut for the water, right?
Oh, יצחק, 69 שתי.
I'm not-
We'll do kids education in a few minutes. יאללה, in honor of Yitzchak, we'll change the
You
schedule.
said
to
not double nut, but make a bow tie?
69
water?
שתי.
So what's the solution for the water? You can do a bow tie?
Both it's written. He's asking, can we make double nut for Netilat Yadayim also? I like it, why not? Good idea.
What is this? What is
Okay, kids education ID, Nastali. Meir, I think it's there under the book, no? Kids education book?
A knot and a bow on top is it permissible to untie them on
Jacob.
Shabbat after on Shabbat 24 hours after it was tied?
No,
Very
you know this book is the best book in the world. Yalla, boy say.
Shalom Bali.
So are you allowed or no? A knot and a bow knot are permissible to untie it, even if those are 324 hours. No problem. Up to 7 days. Past 7 days, Rav Yosef says better to be mahmir. Bow knot and a knot on top. That's better to be mahmir. Okay? Let's do Rabotai a little bit kids education in honor of our dear friend